Big up, big up, big up, and welcome to Liberal 12th Man Show. I'm Liberal 12th Man, and I am joined by the Irishman right now. We're going to also be possibly joined by JK shortly here. But for now, hopefully you are relaxed, in a good place, in a good spot. If you're at work, hopefully the day's going well for you. If you're, out and about or doing your thing, I'm glad to see that you tuned in and chosen to say hello and kick it with us in the Liver Bird, as we fly high on this Monday Night Club segment here. Big up to Jimmy and big up to Cedric, by the way, chiming in, say the love. Appreciate that, brothers. And Red Armchair supporter, big up, my Red. And Trap Joe. Okay. Everyone's just starting to pop up one by one. It's good. Big up, Trap Joe. Big up. Irishman, how are you doing today?
Yeah, that's really good to see so many people in already. Jimmy, Cedric, Armchair, and Joe. That's nice to see everybody in so quick. And Philip. Yeah, it's good. Some without wanting to be we spoke about it last night, without wishing ill on anything, there's a couple of things have gone our way this weekend. So you never know. You never know.
Yeah. You never know. Exactly, man. It's just like, exactly. I mean, we want to wish the best of health to all of our players, just to people in general, to all people. You never want to wish bad health onto any person, but big up John Conway. Big up John. It's so I guess we can and Philip, how you doing, bro? Let's just really just jump right into this. I hope everyone out there is doing well. I know that there's been, the weekend was full of some interesting games, some high scoring games also. And it ended up being where, yes, I get it. We technically are not in first place, but we're only 1 point off of the top spot in the league. And that top place team had some unfortunate news occur to them. Again, this is something where I want to emphasize, we don't wish any bad, we don't wish injuries on anyone. We don't wish any of that nonsense. So if a city, someone out there from the citizens or anything like that, see this episode or watch this episode, we're not celebrating or anything like that this player has gone down. But with that said, they had some unfortunate news. It was a weird injury too. I don't know if you saw it live or if you saw it on the replay. But it was a very weird injury. I know that the commentator here was remarking about it, he's making it seem like, it was as nefarious as when Partey injured, actually caused another knee injury to Diaz. It wasn't as, I think, nefarious as that. It was simply, he was running around the pitch. This is one thing I also did here too, and maybe you can give me your perspective on this as well. And you guys out there can tell me if you guys know a little bit about this as well. But apparently, the Etihad's stadium, the way that they have their field is it's kind of like a hybrid or kind of like a blend of natural grass and artificial grass. So that's what the commentator, at least here on this side of the pond, was saying. And he was saying how maybe sometimes when you're running, you can just catch the wrong spot. And that's possibly what happened with this particular individual. I'm going to bring up the picture right now. Rodri is, now I'll repeat this. With all the talk about depth, let's see if one of the teams that is always heralded for their depth fares without a player that went out of the lineup. They struggled. Rodri is out for the season after tearing his ACL against Arsenal, as multiple reports have been reporting. Currently, for why I even mentioned the whole thing about the depth thing, because I know that's a very popular topic amongst Liverpool supporters. Rodri out for the season. KDB is injured currently. Bob is now out for the year. Ake injured. You know, they're relying on Doku, who still I don't think Doku's even scored for them yet this year. They're not going to park the bus. You know, they're not going to change up their whole scheme of play and everything else, yada yada. 65 games left for them to play this year, and they have a lot to. It's going to be a lot of wear and tear, like stress tests being placed on City. If anything, why I'm bringing these points up is that they are going through possibly something that we've had to go through, and even earlier in the year, they are going through this now in what is the end of September. Do you think that this is a serious issue for City? I know
Nope.
we don't really care if it is or is not, but I'm just asking the same question.
Yeah, everybody everybody gets their injury crisis at some stage. Every team will tell you they had theirs or they had this, but they'll always have different levels of that stuff. You know, they've got probably four. I counted 3 first-team starters there: Ake, Kevin De Bruyne, and Rodri, and that would hurt any team to lose 3. You know, even without going into their depth, to lose 3 players of that quality, especially the way he likes to use Ake, that would seriously affect any team's chances. So it's not like they've lost a left back, a winger, and their second striker. You know, they've lost 2 of their most important midfielders. So I think, I suppose now they know he's out for the season, they can probably plan or do something, but they've got to get through this now using, you would imagine, some kind of combination of Stones, Kovacic, Gundogan, different things like that. And that doesn't look anything like a Rodri team. So when you have that much of a special place in the middle of a team and you're that good, which most people will say he's the number 1 in the world in his position, when you're going to play every week. When you take that out, that leaves a massive hole. You know, it's sort of the one, if you were playing that game, you know, where you can take a piece from your opponent's team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you weren't taking Haaland out of the City team, he's probably the next one you're going to take out. If you were that, you know, you can take one away to weaken him, because that takes the heart out of their midfield.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I think it is advantageous to it. They can point to it. It's like, cool. Yeah, we don't care about their injury crisis. These guys are going to be okay at the end of the day. They're not, you know, they're not banged up or anything. So yeah, I think go for it. I mean, let's not get too ahead of ourselves, because we'll wake up, it's, you know, our own news in the next couple of weeks about someone getting injured. So
right.
But you know, it's this is, they can't win in league. They can't win everything all the time. They've got to have some bad luck sometime.
Yeah.
You know, like, so let's see Haaland get a hamstring now for a month.
Yeah, I mean, he was Trap Joe, you're right. He was just now nominated for the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, because Haaland isn't notorious for
his fitness either.
No. You know, no. So when someone mentioned there, they didn't replace Julian Alvarez. They brought in Silvino.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. Yep.
So maybe they are having their bit of bad luck.
Great point up right here. Or my fault, not that one. Where is it? He spoke on how City didn't replace with Julian Alvarez, and those are things that I commented on early this year. And when I hear all these people talk about depth, and then they're always quick to reference, well, City. One, let's just get real. City operates at different capacities, less the alleged, or not the alleged, they're actually 30 allegations being out there. So yeah, they operate on different avenues or angles when it comes to creating the depth that we're talking about, or people want to see on the team. And also, last year I kept, or this year and last, or especially referring to last year, but I kept bringing up this point. When you look at their depth, quote unquote, their depth is often looked at as being great because they happen to have a couple of really talented individuals, namely Foden and at the time Alvarez, that are very versatile players that can fill in for different players in different roles. And also, you go with a situation where even like Gavardiol, like he's not a left back really. He's a center back playing left back, realistically, but he's certainly versatile enough to do so. Very similar to like a Joe Gomez in a sense. So there are players that might not be world class, but you can provide depth without having world class players top to bottom on your bench. If you just have some really key players that are versatile and are very good players, if not close to being world class, I'm not going to say that Foden isn't world class, but that's just something I've been thinking about as well when I hear a lot of these conversations.
Well, like it's depth is we spoke about it. I mean, you can talk about numbers, you can talk about quality.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always been their thing. Guardiola is from the Bielsa school. Like if it was up to Bielsa, he would probably have an 18-man squad, and he'd use 13 or 14. They like what they call a tight squad. They don't like a load of numbers. He couldn't deal with that Chelsea shit. If it was up to him, he'd have 22, and that's it. Like he likes to have a small group of players to work with so that he has time to work with all of them and make sure everybody knows their roles. So they've never had a huge amount of sort of superfluous kind of 25, 30 million pound players. They've always had a bench that would have, like you said, there'd be money on it because they'd have a Jack Grealish, a Calvin Phillips, and some really expensive defender on their bench, and then they'd have some kids, basically. So this is what I'm saying. It's like when you go at the heart of it, when you take out their most important players, even a club like them, you can't absorb those kind of blows. It's just nobody could. Like it's like you're taking out their heartbeat of the
their
team.
spine.
So,
they're taking out parts of their spine.
Yeah,
and then,
like I said,
expecting them to be able to walk, much less run.
Yeah, like a hammy for Haaland in the next game, just a month out. Then they've got a serious problem, and that is not beyond the bounds of possibility. Haaland does get injuries, so I mean, like I said, hopefully now this is just their turn to have some bad luck, and hopefully it isn't just on the pitch. Hopefully now that the worm has turned against them, and they're going to get plenty of bad news this year. 115 versions of bad news, 130. But I mean, like I said, they've been relentlessly winning. Even those teams that control the resources at it, they have those off years or things don't quite go your way. So as I've always said, that can happen, but that's not up to us to worry about. What we need to do is to make sure that if that does happen, we put ourselves in the best possible position to take advantage of that. Not be sitting here going, "Oh, do you remember that City or that City year when they were awful and they finished like 20 points off what they normally do?" It was like, yeah, and we were even worse. We finished third. Like those are the ones you have to go and take, because you might not get another chance if they come back and they get cleared and they rebuild. But you just have to make sure that you're there, and most importantly for us as well is you don't lose it out to Arsenal.
Yeah,
because everybody wants to talk about them now. Let them.
Yeah, this is our window. This is a very significant window that we can take advantage of, and if anything, I don't want to see us, subside to just, allowing Arsenal to kind of step in front of the line for us here, and I also would say that you're right about the fact that this injury is very similar, being it is as reports are saying, a season-ending injury, as when we had Virgil van Dijk get injured by the T-Rex, aka Pickford, and it took a major U-turn as to what we were going to do with our season. Like similar
time of year as well.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yep, and it was
just as
it
your
was a
season is getting
real
up and going,
stretch. It was a
windows
real struggle
closed.
and stretch. And then like I said, KDB, Bob out. Bob, they're looking for big things from Bob, by the way, this year, because Bob had a very good preseason. And
Great little player.
Ake is very, very important for in the way that, as Brian just mentioned, the way that Guardiola uses him. And now they're going to have to scramble and figure out different places and use players that, they're going to have to step up, like the next man up mentality. And it's going to be a big test to see whether they can and can't. And other teams are going to push them. Other teams are going to test them as knowing that they are vulnerable at this moment. Maybe teams don't just sit back in these preferred park the bus style situations. Maybe they do try to test to see if they have the merit and measure to really get the results the other way. You never know.
Like, you see, if this had happened a month ago, they could have done something about it. But your season is starting now, the window's closed. There's nothing they can do about it until January. And by then, who knows? I'm not saying it's going to totally derail them, but this is a very, very big blow for them. This is probably the one play, like Guardiola. If you ask Guardiola would probably give up Haaland for 6 months and give up Rodri.
Yeah,
he's good. I mean,
absolutely.
That's his guy.
Absolutely.
That's his whole thing.
Absolutely.
Plus, the only other thing I was going to say, if you had someone like John Stones, is someone who could do that role. He can be brilliant as a number 6, but he's someone who can't stay fit for 5 minutes either.
Yeah.
He's up there with Reece James nearly, not as bad as James, but as soon as you need John Stones safe, he's sorry boss, I've got that thing again. Another 3 months for me.
Yeah.
So
and they're going to have to figure it out, because it's not like they're going to have to figure it out with what they have, because now it's not like they can necessarily, I mean, they could, obviously bring up someone from their academy or do something like that, whatever. But what I mean by they're going to have to figure it out is that they'll have to wait till January if they're trying to make any real provisional style things to make up for this. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they do and how they manage this.
Watch them get linked with Zubimendi now.
Okay, you just kind of stole my thunder. You just kind of stole my thunder, but there have been links too.
Already, yeah.
Yes,
right.
There have been links, and it's natural too. Before we even get into it, since we already took out we already moved the thunder clouds away. Let me bring in JK, and then we're going to talk about exactly that rumor that is starting to get spread. And also, big up to Bernie, big up to Marion, MK Toe joining us. I think I don't know if I said hello to Hylor, but hello, I did in the chat. But hello, Hylor. Hello, Hollywood Rock, by the way, and Trap Joe.
Just before just before JK comes in, on the day of the AC Milan game, I think everyone will remember that I was on this show and I said Alisson criticized the new UEFA competition and he was injured. If Rodri gets injured, Rodri came out the next day and criticized him. I said, if Rodri gets injured, we know something suspicious is going on. Both of them came out and criticized UEFA in their press conferences, and I said, watch out now. If Rodri gets injured for some reason, I told you, man. I fucking told you.
I don't know if you did you get that on the from the KMAC wire or something like that.
I told you I didn't have my tinfoil hat on. I didn't have my tinfoil hat on. But yeah, you got to watch out for this. They'd already knocked out Alisson. If Rodri is next, then we know there's something going on. Going on. Don't criticize the new format, lads, or you might sprain an ankle all of a sudden.
Let's bring in JK. Big up, JK. How you doing?
All good, bro. How you guys do?
Good.
Good to hear.
It's true what Brian's saying. What's that?
It's true what Brian was saying. That's dodgy. Yeah, like both guys speak out, both get injured in the same week, man. That
Just be
is
careful what you say.
simple as.
Yeah, the universe listens sometimes. It does. The universe does listen.
Agent Party working for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, who can we get to slag it off next? Can we get Declan Rice to slag it off next? Maybe
Yeah,
he should have a pop at it.
yeah. You know what? Who do I would say? Well, there was a comment in the chat too. Let me see if I can find it. It was about oh, there's a comment too. Here's a thought too. I don't think that if right now, because of City's situation, that price tag for Bruno G, if City were to be the ones that come knocking, would have gone up another 10, maybe 20 million at least, on top
That's
of
the other
already
problem.
100 million that they're asking for now.
They can have him. I don't really worry about him. I don't really rate him as high. He's okay, but he's not a £100 million player. No way.
I can't seem to find it right at this moment, but
He is if you're Newcastle, Jake. He is if you're Newcastle and City come knocking on your door going, will you help us out massively here because we need a DM? Then you're sticking the £100 million price tag on him. Yeah, get all you can from those guys. But yeah, I would say more in the 60 range would be a proper price for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the other problem City have now. Anyone that wants to go, but sorry, unless it's a Zubamendi thing with like a release clause.
Yeah.
Any club they go to in January can go. Yeah. Put an extra 20% on that, please.
Yeah.
We know you're desperate.
Because you know you're desperate.
Yeah.
We know you definitely need him, and there's no guarantee that once. I mean, if I was I just mentioned that Zubamendi has been a reported, or at least a rumored reported interest in a replacement or as in a temporary, replacement, I guess you could say, because obviously Rodri would most likely, once fully fit, be looked to be implemented back into the squad. But again, he's got to go through rehab. He's going to go through all the steps that we saw Virgil van Dijk going through. They're going to have a lot of people that are going to then all have the same scrutiny that was placed on Virgil van Dijk is going to be the same that you're probably going to find, rightfully so, possibly, I don't know, for him as well as he battles back from his injury. But Zubamendi has been reported out there that City might chase him in January. Now, they would have a lot to do in that they would have to, of course, convince Zubamendi to be even interested in taking the deal. Do you think that, because I know Liverpool will keep looking for the right profile person for the position, but would you be disappointed if City were to get Zubamendi instead of us getting Zubamendi? And B, or you can flip-flop, whichever way you want to go, whichever one you want to answer first. And B, would you want us to go after Zubamendi in January and kind of do like a preemptive strike in case they are going for Zubamendi? JK, since you're new to the stream today, I'll ask you that question first and then go to Irishman.
For me, as I've always said, I only want players who want to play for Liverpool at the club. So, and the way football has been, it's like anytime a club goes for a player, surprisingly, 6 months later, in the, say, January transfer window or even in the summer, he ends up going to a top club or whatever, So, if it was meant to be for him to go and play for City, carry on, lad, I'm not going to lose no sleep over that, because for me, I wanted him to come in the summer, and that was his opportunity to come to us in the summer, bar the money transfer and how they wanted to pay them. That was one of the main reasons why they didn't really do business with us. We wanted to pay installments, they wanted the cash up front, so we didn't get the guy, Where you City, I could just imagine on there you go, 70 million was taken January.
Okay. before you answer, Irishman, I'm going to bring in Nalante too. He's joining us as well. Big up Nalante. How are you doing?
Coco, fuck off, will you? Please.
Yeah.
That wasn't
Coco.
that wasn't directed to you, Bob, right? He's talking. That's the Irishman talking to his dog.
Yeah, no. Bad Coco. Bad Coco.
Bad Coco.
In
Yeah.
the middle of a live session.
Yeah. Oh man. Big up. How are you doing today?
Yeah, not too bad. I think obviously I messaged you also. I'm still getting over the whole boxing thing, the
Yeah.
AJ fight. I'm doing that. I'm an AJ
AJ.
fan, so yeah, a bit disappointed. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was nice. That was a good fight.
It was.
Yeah, no, that was a good fight, but he done fundamental mistakes, and that's disappointing, man. For someone who's experienced 11 years, he shouldn't be doing those basic mistakes. And it's a bit like us. I mean, actually, you know what? I would say it was one of the good fights, but I digress. But yeah, apart from that, more good.
Did,
Yeah, but
did
bro, I
AJ
think
get
it's-
slapped up again?
Well-
Did he?
I think it's
That's
Yeah.
off, bro.
Oh, yeah.
overconfident.
Yeah,
bro.
he.
Yeah.
No,
I never
I don't-
rated the guy.
No, it's fair enough, bro. Everyone's type different. I think he's good. He's just that certain things. He just has little lapses, and just certain things are just a bit annoying.
He's like
You
the
know-
Trent of football, isn't he? Or boxing, I mean. He's like Trent.
Jake. Exactly. You know what, JK? I didn't want to say it. You know they're right in their bed. Exactly. That's the problem. That is the problem. Yeah. AJ is straight.
Yeah, he's
Well-
one of those guys. He looks like a boxer, talks like a boxer, acts like a boxer, but put him in the ring, he's so robotic looking. You know, he's always kind of very like so overtrained kind of looking.
Uh-huh.
But you know what the English are like, man. When they have a boxer that's anyway good, they build him up like he's he's the king of this or whatever. He
Yeah.
was probably decent, I don't know, but yeah, I think like making him sports personality of the year all the time, all this kind of stuff was like okay.
Over the top. But for me, you know what it is? Overconfidence in sports in general. Sometimes being
That's
humble
important.
in sports
Yeah.
is the best way to go. Like, look at us against Forest. We were so overconfident. 3-0, 4-0, this, that, and that. Boom, we got done.
Mate. Yeah.
Same as Joshua.
Still- Yeah.
Humble ourselves. Humble ourselves.
Oh, but yeah. Yeah.
So what we're talking about here, Malante, is I know you're listening in the chat too, but what we're talking about here is we're just talking about the possibility of City going for Zubimendi, and if we should do like a preemptive strike and really go for Zubimendi. I just saw KJ's. I'm gonna ask KJ's question or KJ's guy to you guys if you know him in a second, but I was gonna bring up the Irishman, then I'll allow for you to answer. Irishman, would you think that we should go after Zubimendi to kind of if City were to be interested in him, do you think we should just then reestablish since we've already done the work and maybe go after Zubimendi again, or are you on the same
I would
playing field as
I
Jake?
I wouldn't try and do like a reverse, like a who was it, like a Chelsea on it, where
Mhm.
they just go and buy a player because they knew and they're look, fuck it, we'll just buy him and stick him in the reserves for a year and figure out we were going to get him next year maybe, but let's just go and get him now.
Right.
I don't think we should buy him on that pretense, on just to stop City getting him. If we wanted to revisit it, I mean, because I've heard differing kind of soundings from the club. One is that we've moved on, and the other is we still, what's that word Romano always uses? We still appreciate the player. That kind of vague shite, like. But I think if we still want him, I think, and I don't know, JK, I heard different as well. I heard we were more than willing to meet to buy it because it's not that expensive, but we were hoping to get it in installments and end up paying them more. And they said, no, it's a buyout only. So we said, okay, cool. You'll get more money if you go in installments, but if you want, we'll just give you the full buyout. We'll do that because that's not that an expensive deal. So if we really wanted him, I don't know, man, because like if the kid gets his head turned two different ways now, and it's like he's he's kind of looking at us, and then he's looking at City, and then he's looking at us again, looking at City. And do we want to get, like, we already got involved in this stupid transfer in the first place? Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, look, if the club wants him 12 man, go for him, cool, but not, yeah, not in kind of a battle with City or something like that. Preemptive strike, yeah, fine, go and get him if he's still what we need. But if they want to go for him and he wants to go there, like JK said, fine, let him go, let him do it.
Okay.
My money would be still on us going from, though, by the way. If I was to have a tenner on it, I think we're going to go back in for personally.
Yeah, I think why not? I mean, if January comes along and Zubimendi's like, completely changed his mind or has soured, he showed his loyalty, and then his club showed their lack of loyalty, to keep their word.
Romano also said that was an untrue story, that he had fallen out with them over a failed contract. So I've also heard that, and that's from Romano, saying that's don't believe that. That is not what happened. Okay. So it's like, there's a lot of misinformation coming out here. So I don't like them. I don't like those ones. I like clean transfers where everything's,
right. Yeah.
good. It's not being played out through the likes of this guy. And I get onto him later on, what he's saying about Trent.
Yeah. We're going to have some Trent news coming up. But for right now, Nolante, do you have an opinion? Like, as in, would you do this preemptive strike to go get Zubimendi in January if City are going to look to him or target him as a possible player to circumvent the Rodri injury, or do we even, like, if there's another name out there that they think is good, that's one thing. But if they do go for Zubimendi, would you want to do a preemptive strike as I classified it?
So it's a difficult one because of what happened. But again, like Brian was saying, there's reports they're saying that some are saying that he regretted this decision. So but I think what we need to do really, we need to have an option of someone else that maybe, I'm sure there's someone else that we looked at, not just Subi, but hasn't been mentioned. But we need to focus on that target, whoever that DM is. And if we want to go for Subi, then, because it seems that intent from fine, but make sure you have your target in place. The other second target, whoever that DM is, to get if Subi pulls another one, because you can't really trust Subi right now. So we should be going in not because of City, but going in if we know there's concrete. But we need a backup of whoever that DM is that we'll be looking at at the same time as Subi, because there is someone. It's just that we haven't heard.
Right.
They've just kept it under wraps. So I think that's what I'll say.
How about this? And we'll do reverse order here. I'll just ask you again the question, and then go Irishman, and then go to JK. There was a player that KJ offered out as someone, a player I'm not really that familiar with, but Angel Gomez. He's a former Man United player. Yeah, Man United wonder kid, but has since moved on to Lille, in playing in France now. Is he the player that we should go after, or is he someone that maybe perks your interest? I don't know too much about him. I'll definitely research him a little bit to find out what he's all about. But Nolante, you have any ideas as to what type of player this is, and if he's worth being a backup, as KJ's suggesting, could be a possible backup to Grava?
Yeah, I mean, with Gomez, when I remember he didn't get enough game time. He's highly rated by Man United, and he's playing a little bit more further up when he was playing for Man United. And since Lille, I mean, I've watched him nowadays. I can't really say much, but from what I've read, he's done decent. And then, funny enough, the England game, I think the last England game, he was playing as a deep, like a grab deep, and he played well. So if we're going to buy it, you know what? I wouldn't mind. And he's English. I think he's about 24 now, and it won't be first choice. So obviously, there about 2 or 3 probably won't. But I wouldn't mind. As a squad's back, I think for the squad, you can rest Grav or Mac. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't say no.
Okay. Irishman, do you know a little bit about the player? And if not, I do have a follow up for it.
Yeah, I mean, again, the Wonder Kid thing, that's a tag that they get given. The clubs don't call them that. We don't consider our kids they're just
Yeah.
young players.
It says
Someone's put them on a list of wonder
I saw a
kids.
report that said wonder kids.
Yeah,
So,
well, yeah, a list over, but some journalist
Sure.
calls him a wonder kid.
Sure.
That's just journalism. That's just people out there. So that's just a list of their best young players, and that's what he was. I think he walked more than was let go.
Okay.
I think they wanted to keep him, and he's probably one of those kids that had a bit of head on his shoulders, looked around. I'm totally happy to be proved wrong. Totally be
Mhm.
happy to prove wrong that he wanted to stay, but maybe he was one of those kids who said, this place is a fucking dumpster fire and they're not playing me. And
Right.
yeah, I'm a wonder kid. I am too good not to be playing. I've heard nothing. You see, over the last 10 years, you hear about these guys.
Mhm.
They did want to keep him, but he left on a free. Yeah, I knew it. He walked. So, but they're always at United. Oh, United, they've these two young kids. Oh, look at these guys when they come through. I'm like, yeah, right, lads. Of course they are. Because it's United over the last 10 years.
Mhm.
They're absolute shite. So they're always hearing about these kids. Oh, when he comes in, he's going to be special. He's going to be special. But Angel Gomez and the other guy, Tahi Chong, was the other
Mhm.
one. The guy had huge hair, kind of Huddleston hair. He was really, really. They were two of the most highly rated from the same thing. But I've been hearing nothing but like, yeah, this guy is the real deal about Gomez for about 6 years now.
Okay.
This guy is a serious talent. He's gone to, yeah, Chong is at Luton now. KJ's on top of things. So I've heard really good reports all the time. And maybe just, yeah, like maybe a Mainu type, if, that kind of midfielder, or, yeah, like can play deep, can play number 8, but apparently like just from an early age kind of marked out as special,
Right.
good at like on the ball, that kind of thing. So if he was to end up at us and start, lighting up the Premier League, well, I'd happily take that. I wouldn't
Yeah,
mind
sure.
that at all, man.
Sure.
Rubbing in their noses. So I would imagine though, if it isn't us, he's going there to show what he can do and then get a move. So he
To a big
probably,
club.
yeah, he will go somewhere. And of
No
course, it
disrespect
makes
to
sense
Leo,
that he
by the
come
way.
back to England.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the Jim Ratcliffe club, So no, it wouldn't it'd be perfect sense for him to come back to England. So it would be nice, but yeah, just in terms of someone like that, he is a name that I've heard for, because it's a name you remember, Angel or Angel Gomez.
Yeah.
I've heard that it's been around a while now. So fair play to him for leaving, realizing what was going on, saying I'm out of here, lads, going off somewhere to do my thing, and then come back. Because a lot of those players, they don't get their fair due at United.
Right.
It's a bad side.
It's one of the reasons why, like, Rio chose Liverpool, similar situation out of Chelsea, leaving from Chelsea. Like, as in Chelsea wanted to keep him, but he wanted to leave, and he actively pushed to make the leave. So, and there was a reason why, and that was because of the way that Liverpool's been handling their youth players and allowing for some of these youth players to actually get a run at things, as opposed to just always going out there and just buying a player and kind of like, putting a ceiling on a lot of the youth players' abilities to really break into the first team. But yeah, how about for you, JK? Do you know a bit about Gomez? Or if not, I do have a follow-up question.
Like, I know that his dad played for Portugal. He's done pretty well at Lille, is it? And I don't know. I don't know too much about the lad. I don't really pay attention to like old Man United players unless they cost loads of money and they're a failure somewhere. There, then we'll pay a bit of interest. But the guy's playing for England. He probably he's at the end of the day. He's 24, so probably the right age.
Right.
He can play a few positions: wide midfield, central midfield. Depends. Like, I think, is he on a free next season?
I'd have to look. I could check for you.
I think he was.
I would ask
I think he is. Yeah. I've seen that today, actually.
My quick follow-up question would have been then
There
this: is the possible backup to Gravenberch already technically within this club? And that is, he's out on loan at RB currently. I know Bajcetic is a player that a lot of us rate and do appreciate. Is it a case where if we get a Zubimendi, or if we get another player like that, we're going to either platoon or is going to maybe even start in front of Gravenberch or have or be the backup to Gravenberch in that pivot role? Is Bajcetic, are we possibly just lining up Bajcetic for a move away from the club, or is Bajcetic that player that if we can just kind of figure things out this year, when Bajcetic does return and he has that experience that he gains from RB, we'll have that number 6 backup, or we'll have that player that can push Gravenberch for that position? JK, do you want to answer that one?
Like for me, realistically, I wanted Bajcetic to stay with us this season. For me, Wednesday's game, perfect for him to play in, you know?
Yeah.
That was one move I was actually disappointed in the summer, you know? We let Clark go to Salzburg, cool, 10 million. It's 10 million, but seeing Bajcetic actually move on, we've not really seen anything from Bajcetic and Doak, for example, you know? For them two are, for me, one of the most talented out of the youth players, Doak and Bajcetic. But realistically, they've had like odd good games, maybe. Doak not really for Liverpool, you know. But I've seen glimpses and touches from both of them players to see there's a player in them, you know. We sent Bajcetic out. Hopefully he'll get game time there. Come back next summer, you know. But for me, realistically, he could cover Gravenberch.
I think so.
So for me, that would have like, you know, like when we look at the subs bench against who do we just play?
Forest or against Bournemouth or
against Bournemouth, the subs bench wasn't great. Bar Darwin, Gapco for me. They're the only two guys. Like Curtis Jones just back from injury, and that's about it. You know, you got your Gomez's, Timmy Cass, you know, the standards. But for me, midfield is where we lack this summer.
Kwanzaa too. Kwanzaa's on the bench too. Shout out
Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa.
Yeah, shout out to my boy Q.
Yeah, so Kwanzaa as well. So realistically, Bajcetic was the guy we should have just kept hold of and let him get on with his Liverpool career, you know.
Same question to you, Irishman.
Yeah, look, you all know how much I rate that guy, but I said I understood it because he didn't play. He missed an entire season. If he hadn't missed an entire season last year, it's a totally different story. So to get him back up to speed after all that football out, if he wasn't going to be a starter, as much as I didn't want to see him leave, I thought that was what was best for his career. Again, purely based on missing a year of football. Now he's there. He's playing every single game at Salzburg. He's playing in the Champions League. That's good. Like, the worst thing is you send some guy out to some club and they don't use him. He's been used properly. Linders is there, so he will be. Yeah, it wasn't ideal, but I mean, we're talking about him backing up Gravenberch. That's in about 9 months' time. That's a very long time in football. So I don't think we can sit around and wait for someone like him to maybe come back, because we tried to put him in the deal for Sociedad. We need players now.
Yeah,
you know, we need the players that are here now to be.
That was a loan deal, though. It wasn't a permanent deal. But
yeah, no, that's what I said. Wait, it's a year and long before he comes back to Liverpool. So I mean, he's not going to be here this season. I think we can all agree on that.
Right.
So that's one down the line. I'm with the boys. I didn't want him to go, but I understood why he did. The fact that we kept Morton, like KJ is pointing out, is because he played a full season last year. And so he has I just think if Bajcetic had played last year, I don't think we would have loaned him out. I think he would be here. And maybe Morton wouldn't. But there is, like you hinted at, there is also a chance that Bajcetic goes to Salzburg and has a really great season and we sell him for 25 million quid.
Yeah.
That's also a possibility, because we don't know. But I would love to have been fit and have had 6 months under his belt and to have had a role to play in this team, because just in terms of quality on the ball in midfield, he's got it. But look, that's football, isn't it? That's life. You can't plan for these things. So
no, you can't.
No, he's doing well over there in Salzburg.
Yeah, he's doing well over there. He's learning.
Playing every game, starting every game.
Yep.
That's all good. It's all good. So
And this something KJ brought up too. We still have Morton as well, who is an unknown quantity or quality under slot. That's another good player that we do have that, you know, could be a possible I won't say heir, but I just see MK Toe is leaving. Take care, MK Toe.
yeah.
So what would you say to that, Nolante? What would you say to that question about that? Or and you can even factor in Morton as well if you like. But do we possibly have an heir apparent already to at least be the backup, or if not a viable contender considering whatever he does this year with RB Salzburg in Bajcetic?
Yeah, not much to say really on this one. I think JK and Brian summed up perfectly. I didn't want him to go either. I wanted him. It would have been his chance to kind of get his feet back after the injuries of last season, and obviously his breakout in 22-23, which wasn't a great season. He's one of the few players that stood out. And you saw the run of games. Yes, he made little mistakes, but you see the quality was there, oozing there. And so I thought he could have, stayed there. You would have seen a bit of a push for him. And obviously, I just hope Slot is not thinking about if he wasn't getting him this, he sells him, because I think that'd be a big mistake. But again, it's just opinionated. And like MKS said, we've got Morton, but I think Morton, unfortunately, he had a good season last season at whole. He won't be at the club. He won't be at the club by next summer. He'll go. But
No,
with Bajcetic, I don't think so. I think it's just too rampant. And I could be wrong. I just feel Slot. I mean, if you're gonna, let's just say, if you put a gun to Slot's head out of Morton or Bajcetic, I think we know who he's gonna go with. But listen, I just hope he gets the chance next season and he can cook. Because boy, him with a full season and Pep, who rates him, and already from what I've heard, his last game he was very good. So it's because it's a good league. He knows the assistant manager. Maybe if it comes back firing, man, trust me. Oi, let him cook. Let him cook.
That's a good move from him. Good move.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, let's just transition to a player that is currently with us, and this player is a player that I think the majority of us all have love for this player. I know Nolante wants to see a little bit more rotation for this player because he wants to see them, see us get the most and the best out of this player and to maintain his levels throughout this entire year. But you know how it is. When you're the captain, you're probably going to be in the majority of the games, and that is Virgil van Dijk.
Yep.
I saw a clip of Gary Neville speaking on, obviously after the City matchup, and he was lauding them, their defensive measures and the way that they played and the likes, and how they're scoring goals and they were, playing defensively very well and the likes. And Gary Neville went as far as to say that Gabriel and Saliba are the best two center backs in England right now. I personally think that Virgil van Dijk is better than both of those names I just mentioned. I would even say that Konate could be an argument against Gabriel, if not Saliba. But what do you have to say about this, Alante? We'll go again reverse order this time, and tell us in the chat: is Gary Neville just talking absolute rubbish, or is it? Do you think his opinion is not? Obviously, is biased a little bit, but do you think he's spot on, and that Saliba and Gabriel are the best? Nolante?
It's the old Saliba VVD situation scenario, because Arsenal have been creeping up, and fair enough, they had the most clean sheets. I think with Neville, as much as Neville, but he does, to be fair, he does talk some sense on certain things. So I don't think he's saying it for saying sake, for his anti-Liverpool They've got the clean sheets, and I mean, yeah, as a pairing, they've done well. So statistically, statistically the best. Are they the best? Um, it's hard, isn't it? I guess just ahead at the moment, but that can change because they've been consistent for the last season and the start of the season. So you have to give it. And last season, as we were up and down with our defending, to be fair.
Right.
But I mean, again, VVD. I know Saliba will be, but VVD is better than both of them. That's no questions asked. I don't care. And he said he's still better than both of them, in my opinion. But Kanate, he's not that far behind. He's better for me than Gabriel. I know Gabriel's improved. You could toss the coin, but Saliba's ahead of him at the moment. I can't lie.
Okay.
If Kanate keeps up his form from where he is now to the end of the season, then we can have another discussion, and depending on where we are, etc.
How about for you, Irishman?
Yeah, I agree. Well, Nolante said the way he was putting it there. VVD is better than both of them. Gabriel, Kanate is better than Gabriel. Is Saliba better than Kanate? I don't know. But as a pairing, like if it was one of those kind of, like electronic horse race kind of thing, if they're just as the pairings, I think all season they've been kind of they pretty much neck and neck. I think when we lost against Forest, maybe they just kind of moved ahead a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we've maybe gone level again, if not ahead, with our last game they've conceded. So yeah, as a pairing, there's very, very little to split them. Towards the end of the back end of last season, I would have had them as a pairing over VVD and Ibu because Ibu was off form. But right now, because he's come back into form, I think it probably comes down to who do you support, really.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't take their pairing over ours. I don't know, VVD and Saliba might be interesting to see, but that's a bit. I still think we're pretty much neck and neck at worst, and if not, we're best. I think at our best, Kanate, Ibu was a better front foot defender than Gabriel.
Mm-hmm.
Ibu is really very best, but Gabriel's a top player. They're real top players, these guys. So kind of a hair's breadth, between them. But right now, I think we've just nudged back ahead. But again, of course, I'm a Liverpool fan. Arsenal fans are going to laugh you out of the building. What are you doing about it? So,
yeah, I'm sure they will. How about for you, JK?
They're like Gabriel. Something about the guy. When I see his face, he just pisses me off, man.
I know.
So
he was getting into it at the end of that game yesterday.
That was entertainment.
That was entertainment. Did you see what Holland did?
That was the old school way.
I didn't mean to cut across. I was going to say, did you guys see what Holland did? By the way,
that's shaking. Yeah, that was funny.
That was funny. He threw the ball at the back of an Arsenal head. I'm surprised he didn't get a card for that too. By the way,
no, that's a red. That's a red.
I think
that's a red.
Yep.
No, that is a red. That's violent conduct. That's a red.
Yeah,
that's a straight red. That's not even a yellow. Red. That's violent conduct under the rules of law. Because I saw a referee talking about it today. Mm-hmm. That's violent conduct. Right. That's a red card.
Yeah.
He said the only thing that they can say is VAR didn't see that, and they can't say that because that's a straight.
VAR didn't see that, but like,
but that's the thing. Like, if you're going to talk about it, like, it was funny and all that, but I'm sorry, if you're going to call for consistencies,
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, but the guys that are calling for consistencies, I think it's hilarious, but that's a fucking red card.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen in that game. So all the Arsenal fans, a City fan or a City coming out. I mean, City calling Arsenal dirty and cheats and all of this. I mean, you couldn't make this stuff. Like the brass neck on these guys. Like Guardiola invented what you're talking about Arsenal doing to ye. They're just doing it. So yeah, no blood, no foul. We know, no blood, no foul. Sorry, Chris. In Chris Angel's Thunderdome, no blood, no foul.
I know.
Is it broken? Is it broken? Get back on and play then.
I know.
Yeah.
All we need is Tina Turner now, like, you know, like
Yeah.
welcome to Thunderdome.
Yeah, but for me,
Wow.
that red card, that situation. But yesterday's game, it was a good game to see, like the old school way of football. You know, where people are fighting with each other, getting stuck in. I reckon that referee, he did okay. You know, I like when there's a big game, when you got Liverpool United, Liverpool Man City, Arsenal Man City. I like when the referee don't start booking straight away, because he
Right.
takes the tone out of the game. And I think yesterday he let it be early on. And that's why yesterday's game was
That's
explosive.
interesting.
You know? It was explosive.
It's interesting. I mean, like, that's interesting that you. Yeah, I was gonna say that's interesting. You're saying that because there has been a lot of I won't say controversy, but a lot of conspiracy. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm sorry. A lot of conspiracy theorists out there that are bringing up the whole Michael Oliver doing the refereeing in Saudi Arabia, about how the fact that he's never given a red card to a actual City player in any game he's officiated in. The fact that he's the one team he's given the least amount of yellow cards to has been City. There's certainly circumventing factors in that. You know, I mean, because they haven't gotten as many yellow cards as others. It could be because of just not committing as many yellow offensive fouls as other teams as well in the games that he's officiated. That could be the answers to that, but it's just like rumors or not rumors, but conspiracy theories. A lot of tin hats out there. I saw that.
Like for me, like yesterday was the perfect time to give a red card to Haaland. Like at the end of the day, what he did was like sort of funny, but for me, it was sort of violent, man. Like you don't chuck the ball at someone's head. You don't do that. You know what I mean?
I think that also the player. Unfortunately for the player, he had like put his kit over his head. You know, like this, like just devastated. He put his kit over his head, and that's when he got hit in the back of the head by Haaland. So he would not have known, probably, even, you know, because he couldn't see. Most likely, he wouldn't have known, or even been able to like take it off and see who actually did the foul.
And then what happened when they kicked off again? He was on a mad one as well. Remember? You know when they kicked off straight away?
After the game. Did you see what he did to? He pushed Arteta. And he also got in the face of Gabriel at the end of the game, because Gabriel was not having it, or maybe someone did tell him that it was Haaland.
One of those tiny Arsenal people. There was one of those tiny. There was one of those tiny Arsenal people that he was getting in a fight with. I don't know who they are. You know, they've got like loads of small little players around usually. There was some like little 5'8" guy was squaring up to him.
Trossard.
Someone was laughing about it. Some tiny little guy was squaring up to him, and everyone was like,
"Yeah,
this is just getting stupid now."
I don't think Trossard was out. Trossard was probably
And he just told him to F off. You've seen it on the camera where Haaland's telling him to F off. You know, so I'm thinking it ain't always nice between. That's what I want to see in football. Like for me, I'm not a big fan of like hugging and shaking hands with each player or everybody. Start of the game, half time, whatever. I like seeing what I seen yesterday. Yeah. Look at all the people, like when you look at Roy Keane and stuff, they all said that's the way football should be. They all enjoyed that game. Why? Because they could be competitive. You know, for me, the yellow card situation in football anyway is like, I don't know, you can't even talk to the referee now. Unless you're captain, you'll get a yellow card. So they're really clamping down on the players in the last few years on their behavior in a football match. They're trying to control the players, man. You know, for me, like a footballer's going to have passion and drive in him. So sometimes where he's got fouled and he hasn't been fouled, or he's committed a foul and it's not a foul, he's going to get frustrated. So you're going to see the guy's passion. You know, the fans are like, "Yeah, come on, let's see a bit of that." But they're taking that away from him as well. So it's like the football, even the guys on the sidelines. The guy for Arsenal, he didn't even made his debut yet. He got a yellow card, man. Like, come on, man. It's like you got to let these players like be free when they play football. They're walking on tight ropes every game now, you know. And for me, that's not the way football should be. I think when there's a lunatic about in the football pitch, yeah, give a red card or a yellow card or whatever. But nowadays, anything goes. Like, you're gonna get a yellow card. So that's for me the control of football in general. It's coming from from the top. Referees on a mad one to give out yellow cards. I think 2 weeks, was it last week? It was a record, the most amount of yellow cards in a game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there you go. That says everything I need to say. And it wasn't even a dirty game. Yesterday's game was more dirtier than that game.
JK, I haven't seen a dirty game of football in the Premier League in a long time.
Yeah.
You want to talk dirty? I haven't seen one in a long time, man.
Yeah.
You know, like what they're getting done for now. Yeah, a few late. Look, there's always going to be late tackles. There's always going to be missed time tackles that do hurt people, and you know. But the level of maliciousness and like people are saying, did such and such do that on purpose? This kind of stuff. That kind of stuff is so gone out because that's gone out of the culture in the game because it's now because these players are all friends. A lot of them, like not all friends, but they all work together. They know like that idea of going out and hurting a fellow pro is kind of not really the done thing anymore. It used to be back in the day, oh, we'll go and hurt those bastards. Now it's not really, like JK said, you'll get the odd nutcase, but at the elite level, these guys, yeah, they'll hurt each other by accident. Or yeah, someone might lose their head, and you know, even the likes of maybe a Joey Barton, he's the last of his breed going around the Premier League. People like Joey Barton who would lose their head and then just go straight do you in the knee. Yeah. They've gone pretty much. Those guys, yeah, hard tacklers, but that stuff. The game is a lot cleaner. But now, people just wanted perfection in refereeing, so they want. It's been It's been officiated to within an inch of its life now, and they know that they're making so many mistakes because they keep having to change these rules that didn't need changing in the first place. They keep having to re-amend them and all of that. Like the handball rule, like that changes every 6 months because they know it isn't. You know, they'll do it and then they go, oh shit, something will happen in a game, and then they go, oh crap, we never thought of that, because if that happens, it makes our rule look stupid, doesn't it? And everyone's like, yeah, it does. You know, so can we just go back to intentional handball and let the referee call it, whether he thought it's intentional or not? Just let referees make calls and just assume that they're going to get the odd one wrong, but most of them are right, and just live with it. Otherwise, you get all this nonsense all the time. But the game itself is a lot cleaner, way cleaner than it used to be on every level. But like, we still like to see, as fans, the passion of players kicking off at the end of games. Like, you want to know that really did mean something to them. You want to know that it isn't just about their 300 grand a week, like that they are actually that genuinely invested, that yeah, they'll get into it. You don't want to see punches thrown or anything, but you want to see that they care. And yeah, that stuff, again, it is funny. It's entertaining as long as nobody gets hurt. You know, it's, you know, like I say, it just shows you that the passion is still there, that they're trying to take out of the game.
Yeah. So the thing I wanted to also bring up about Virgil as well is that, since we're just talking about, you know, how he was being regarded as not the top, if not the second best center back in the league currently, as in the words of Gary Neville.
Yeah, good old G.
This was his past. Yeah, this was his. This was Virgil van Dijk yesterday in his passes. Virgil van Dijk has made more interceptions, 13, and won more aerial duels. He's won 21 than any other defender in the Premier League this season. Virgil van Dijk also did not misplace a single pass against Bournemouth. Every pass from Virgil van Dijk was a completed pass. This is showing where he went with his passes, by the way, too. So this is not just, you know, these left to right style passes, or, you know, just like horizontal passes and like that. They were some progressive passes. There were some progressive passes. You can obviously see some diagonals in there that are some pretty decent diagonals as well. And this is talking from someone that is playing defense. So he's clearing the ball. He's trying to do different things with his takes.
Only one long one there at Salah, I'd say.
Yeah, probably to Salah, probably.
Just one though. See that one that's sticking out like a sore thumb? That's the classic Virgil ball.
Mhm.
That's got to be what? That's a 50-yard pass. Yeah, he didn't normally plays one or two of them, but
Mhm.
A lot more to the left than usual. You know,
Mhm.
I know a lot of the time he's looking to his right. That's interesting. A lot of those are going to the left. He's looking for
Yeah.
Diaz
He's looking for-
more than Salah.
He's looking for Diaz. I think that's been.
Yeah,
I think
interesting.
Slot has actually in this. I think Slot with this, system. Again, I've been pointing out how they've been balancing the left and right, or the sides that we're going to.
Do you have
And I-
Kanate's version of that? Because I'd be interested. Like, does Kanate's flip the other way? Is he playing most of his to the right?
To the right. I'll have to look up
Because
that.
that'd be interesting to see. Are they
Yeah.
switching? Like Virgil is going everything to the left, and then he just saw that one ball that was onto maybe whoever that was and
Mhm.
pinged it.
Mhm.
And maybe Kanate's in the opposite. Ibu is doing all his stuff to his side.
Mhm.
That would be interesting to see. Because I just noticed that that's all predominantly on the left from Virgil. And
Yeah.
I know him from trying to pick out Salah and Trent with that ball to the right.
Right.
So I know it looks like a bunch of arrows, but that's kind of genuinely interesting.
Right. And I think that's the reason why I was trying to bring up also the fact that a lot of these passes aren't just like, pass back to the keeper. You can see one of them actually, a pass back to the keeper, but a lot of these passes were getting directed to probably Gravenberch on the left, which is a lot of that action is going on. The majority of those passes are going left. And then you see a couple to the right that are probably going to Maka. And then you have those that are going out to Diaz as well, primarily. There's really only one, probably, it looks like he only probably had like one pass in this game, really, that was directed, possibly. I'm not certain if it was or wasn't, but it looks like only one pass, as Brian noted, that might be out to Salah. And I think that's a difference. There's a difference. But I also noticed that that Konate was looking for Diaz as well. So, I mean, there's been a concerted effort to try to get Diaz more involved in this offense in a different way than
So what we're saying is Slot thinks Salah is shit. That's what we can deduce from this. They're saying don't pass it to that Egyptian guy, lads. He's useless.
Wow.
He's absolutely useless.
He's got the left foot, he's got the right
Yeah.
foot.
Wow. Do I have to go like this too now?
Don't give it to him. He's greedy.
That is not the words of me. That's not the words of the Irishman either. He's just speculating.
That ball hogger. He's a ball hogger, lads. Don't give it to him.
Yeah.
Oh man. VVD did speak on something particular, and that was at length in the interviews. He spoke on this particular individual right here. So, Marion, you might want to have a seat. I know it might make
sit
you
down, Marion. Sit down.
It might make you a little woozy here, but
Get a cold towel.
But
he's running and everything. You needed to warn him.
Yeah, he's running to you. He's running to you. He's running to you. Running to your place.
Tell the hubby to go out and take the dog for a walk.
But he spoke on D9, and he had quite a bit to say. Actually, it was very interesting. He handled quite a bit of topics on Darwin, and these are his quotes that I wanted to see what your takes and what your opinions on this are. Virgil van Dijk on Darwin Nunez. Consistency is the key. He shouldn't get carried away, but he won't. And now is the time. He shouldn't get carried away, but he won't. And now is the time for him to recover and focus on the next opportunity he gets. That's football. We will help him, and the coach will help him. Club and fans. Let me repeat that. Club and fans as well. He started, but he might not see the next game. Now that was very interesting for him to go into that little part right there. He goes, he started, but he might not start the next game. And we want him to be consistent. That's the main thing. Don't get dragged down into the positivity and then the low, the negativity, or you'll be dizzy at a certain point. The fans love him. The fans love him, he said. They love him for his work rate, his directness, and what he brings to the table. He got his reward for the hard work he did with a good goal, but we want him to be consistent and keep doing it. I'm confident he will be fine. Some strong words and some words of like measured praise, but also some grounding of keeping yourself humble and keeping yourself involved in the pursuit. So what do you have to say about that? Well, we can start JK, then go Irishman, and then go, or Irishman. Let's start Irishman actually this time.
Yeah, no, like you said, very much what you'd expect to hear from a captain. Let's not go overboard.
Mm-hmm.
Good goal. Needs to keep doing it consistently, but that's the thing. He didn't. He said it in English. He just hit the nail on the head. Really, you need to see it consistently. He's, as much as anybody wants to talk about. Look, like you said when we were doing the overrated thing, you said about Andy Carroll. You said, look, you don't. We get it. These guys don't write their own price tags.
Right.
But you're a transfer record breaking striker. Mm-hmm. It's your job. We should expect goals, right? He costs 80 million quid. Mm-hmm. He's a striker with all the other things that come with it. But after a while, like he said, he just needs to do what you did there at the weekend. Not score wonder goals, but just score goals consistently. That's all you need to do. Stay grounded. You've been given your chance. And like he said, I like the nice little kind of big brother, the big brother moment from Virgil saying, now don't assume you're going to start the next game, by the way, just because you played well. That was a nice little check,
Mm-hmm.
Very Virgil, very captain, very mature, like saying, oh, he scored a wonder goal. Of course he's going to start next week. No, don't worry, dude. You might be sitting down. So he did, I think he said everything the right way. And just like at the end, just that's what we want to see, consistency. Just do that every week. And he said the fans, because the fans at the game sing his name. So forget all these lunatics online. It's the people that pay their money to go and see you play every week. They sing your name and they back you. Right. So those are the ones that matter. All these idiots online that are abusing your be on Instagram. These are lunatics. These people can't pass a football 10 yards. Mm-hmm. It's the fans in the stadium that sing your name. They're the ones you should be listening to. And of course, also the positive people out there online trying to back them up.
Yeah. I was going to say, you gotta.
They have their voice too, but the ones that Darwin can take energy from, the ones that are in front of him singing his name, just ignore all the noise outside the stadium and get on, keep doing what you do. You got the number 9, man. You got it. This is your season.
This is you. Yeah.
So go and do it. Again, I think Virgil was I think he will start against West Ham.
That was interesting. The way he said he started, but he might not start the next game.
It was just one of those little kind of psychological checks on it to just go, now don't get too ahead of yourself, even though he probably knows he is starting or something, but he'll just say, don't make assumptions. Right. Keeping it very mature, keeping it very, very Virgil, that's what I'm saying, very VVD way of doing it back. Mm-hmm. But I like it. It was well done by the captain. There was nothing. Virgil is so good at actually giving you real, genuine answers, but not giving you anything that some dickhead can go and make a big headline out of.
Right. No,
he's really good at not giving them what they want, but actually giving you proper answers because he knows how to play the game. He knows what they'll print as a headline. Yeah. So he keeps his words really measured, but he isn't one of those guys that just says, "Oh, he did well, and hopefully he'll continue to do well." It says nothing. Yeah. He's very clever. He's a really intelligent guy, Virgil. You can tell that.
Yeah. Nolante, I would ask you the same. What do you have to say about what you just heard our captain say about our number 9? And would you add anything, or do you think that he got it on point?
To be fair, I think I kind of echo what Brian was saying about the whole thing with Darwizzy. Puts him in a busy. Spins him in the top. Did he?
There you go.
Mr. Wizard number 9. Yeah, he just. I mean, yeah, like Bryce said, very nothing too much, nothing too less. I mean, at the moment he's got the shirt. Joe has to hold bench because he's just been, no, Joe. If it happens, he's been a bit subpar. He's taking his chance. So Joe will start against West Ham, and then Nunes will start the next game against Wolves. So
Okay.
look, yeah, that's the way I see it. Look, I said everyone has to play position. This is why I feel for Elliot because he would have got his opportunity.
Oh,
I
this
feel
would
he
be-
can.
yeah.
Again, not to jump on the Subbo hate train because I'm trying not to, but I believe
No, let it
Elliot.
pass. Yolante, let that train pass. Let that train pass. Wave it
Yeah.
goodbye. Let it
Yeah,
pass.
yeah,
Too early,
yeah.
man. Too
Okay,
early.
okay, all right, okay. See you later. All right, no problem, Brian. But okay. Let me get back to Nunes. Let me digress. I digress. Let's get back to Dawizi. So, yeah. Listen, look. I think we can all agree this is a make or break season for Nunes
Oh yeah.
in terms of Liverpool career, where he goes out of the season. Now, again, the symptom. I'll see how many games he plays, but I'm expecting. If I'm talking about league goals, I'm expecting at least 15 league goals for Nunes. And I don't think that's a harsh assessment because, end of the day, next season we need to be going for that title, no matter what. I don't care. It's not second season. We've got the squad. We only need to add a few pieces, and if Nunes can't cut it, he can't cut it, unfortunately. Now, I like, VVD's work hard and stuff like that. That's no problem. We've had that before, but we need the goals. We need the gunman. We need not just
Yeah.
him, Jota as well. He's been a bit quiet. Jota's a better finisher. We need the goals because if we don't, then, then decisions need to be made at the end of the season. So, great back, first start, goal. It's really down to Darwin what he wants to do. And that's all I have to say about that. Sucker.
So yeah,
That's not thinking.
It's Atlanta, man.
I like the land there. That was a good land. JK, how about you? What are your thoughts? And tell us in the chat. I mean, tell us. Do you think also what's your thoughts on? Are you happy to hear what Virgil has to say about Darwin, or do you think he's being harsh, or think he's too kind, or do you think he?
No. I think Virgil's got the gift of the gab. Proper professional, smart guy. So happy he's our captain. He isn't like a headache. He's just a smooth guy. He's just cool. He talks with respect and stuff. So he's talking about his teammate now. Like Darwin. So he knows him pretty well. Look at the picture there. For me, Darwin is a guy where he don't really score easy like easy goals. He always scores sort of good goals. The chip at Brentford last season, the 2 goals against Newcastle, this goal on the weekend. So he's got it in him to score good goals. For me, I'm not going to make that. I'm not going to diss Darwin so Jota gets game time. For me, I'm not going to do none of that shit because for me, it's all about them 2 guys can play up top, take it in turns. One play 5-6 games, the other one does it for a few games. Just get the goals for us, them 2. So I'm not into that when Liverpool fans start dissing Darwin because Jota can get game time. What the fuck is that all about?
Right.
Support each guy when he comes in. If you don't do it, okay, try the other guy. We've got that luxury. A lot of clubs look at Man City. Haaland is the only recognised striker there. Tottenham as well, Solanke. Arsenal, they're playing Havertz as the lead striker. So we've got Jota and Darwin.
Arsenal haven't had a
main
striker
striker.
since they sold Giroud, Jake.
Yeah.
They haven't had a
We've
number
got
9.
Jesus.
And Nketiah and Welbeck and Giroud for the last. They haven't had Giroud, like Jesus. If that's a number 9,
I'm a number 17.
Yeah,
he's terrible, Jesus. He's like, wow. What
he's
no disrespect to Christianity and all that, but yeah, he is. He's
no Jesus.
Yeah.
He ain't saving no.
like Havertz is probably their best goal scorer. I mean, Nicholas Jackson is looking decent this year, and he's got 4 goals already. Okay, fair play to you. You look like all of a sudden player transformed. Cool, nice one.
But
yeah, I mean, it's not like you say Haaland drops out of that team, like we were talking about earlier on, with the injuries and stuff, they lose him for a month now. Like who comes in? Like what are they doing? Are they playing Grealish, Doku, and Savino up front, or
Yeah.
Yep.
what do they
Yeah,
do?
they'll find a way. They're smart. Remember, they won the league without a recognised number 9. So
Yeah, but
City have
without we
got.
were talking about it earlier, Nanati. But if
Mm.
with the Rodri injury and the KDB injury, like you take a Haaland out of the even for like a hamstring strain for 3 weeks, you take a Haaland out of that team with no Rodri
They're not good, you know.
and no Ake, no Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, all of a sudden,
Yeah, but if they lost Haaland for a short amount of time, I don't think it'd be that big a deal. But if it's a long time, then yeah, it'll be problems for City.
Yeah, but for me, the
Let's
main
hope.
problem is like Rodri. Look at the game. Look at the percentage of games they win them without him.
Mhm.
With him, they're winning a lot of games. Without him, they're not doing so well. You know. For me, he's their best player. Like they'll always seem to score goals. Take
He's their
Rodri
most
out of that
important
team.
player. He's
He's
their most important player,
Yeah, he is.
without a
He's
doubt.
their most important.
Even
What
more
if
important than
I
Haaland. I
always
think.
said if we had him at Liverpool the last 4 years, we would have won everything, no problem. So, what a top player! But them missing him is a very important sort of piece of the chessboard. They didn't need to really lose it.
Before we get into what will be possibly the last, if not the last subject from us at least, if you guys have a question or something like that, I know we had to excuse me, do today's episode a little bit outside of the normal 7 o'clock time window. So I know it's getting late for some people out there. So we're going to be looking to.
That's the Monday Night Club. We we go rogue sometimes. We go rogue.
Yeah, we gotta go. We gotta go late sometimes. Out late. As I classified it, it's like almost like the after dark version of the show right here. But I wanted to say that we're going to speak on. We already mentioned or teased that we are going to talk about Trent, but something else real quick popped up, and it was something that made me think about Trent's contract situation, obviously, but there is another player that has 2 years left on his deal. Excuse me. After this year, he'll have 1 year left, and that individual is Ibu. Real quick, I was going to go kind of like rapid fire. Tell us in the chat too, please. This is a rapid fire question. You can elaborate in the chat if you like, but it's just a rapid fire question. I'm going to start with JK, go to Irishman, and then we'll end with Nolante. Would you prioritize getting an extension, and what would be the extension that you want to give, obviously, to Ibu right now? Do you get Ibu's deal done right now, or do you see if he can stay fit, and then you decide if you want to give him another year or an extension, to his contract?
Going with how he's playing this season, I'd be getting that contract ready. I think his change of attitude this season, he looks more serious. I think the Kwanzaa taking his place in the team upset him. So he's come back now as like a stronger, more strong-minded centre-back. So hopefully he stays fit. And I'll be like, when you look at the world of football, there's not loads of centre-backs who are top draw. Konate is a good player, So for me, I'll be getting ready that contract. See how he goes injury-wise until, say, maybe January, February time, then get it sorted.
Okay. Brian?
Yeah, like rapid for I
know. What that was? I know.
100% extend. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I
And
mean,
what would
we
you
have all these.
what would be
Oh
the
no, yeah. I'll do that quick as well. We have we have the three main guys to get sorted out. Contract. So the contract people are going to be swamped. But yeah, I would definitely. So what you're saying would be one after this year.
Yeah,
he's
now into his second year. He's got 2 years left, including this year, obviously. So, yeah, this is his.
So I'd make sure that he has 4 more years left.
Oh wow,
basically on his
4 year
deal.
extension.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean I'd like to have him 4 years left. So if he has, say, one after this year, then give him another 3 years on top of his current deal, or even four.
Okay.
Bring him up to like the age of 30, something like that.
Okay.
I'd be happy to get
He's
that.
on
That would be good.
70,000. He's on 70,000 pounds a week.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you clarity too, guys. 70,000 pounds a week. He's got 2 years left of his contract, and he'll be making 7.2 million. And ends January 3rd or June 30th of 2026 is the end of his current deal.
I think Slot is a more strict taskmaster type coach than Klopp was, and I think he cannot, like, he lost his place already, but I think Ibu, I think he's taking life maybe a little bit more seriously under Slot than he did under Klopp. That's just the impression I get anyway.
Okay.
I don't know what that is, Joe. I don't know.
I don't know what the Frenchy way is either.
I don't know what that is, but
Nolante,
feel free to elaborate.
Yeah, as long as it's PG, feel free. Nolante, go ahead.
Yeah, I can see Marianne is she's key with Big Evo.
Yeah.
She's very keen.
Don't
You
tell
saw the
Darwin
contract.
about that.
There you
Exactly, innit? Oh God, yeah. So yeah, I think between the channel will keep it secret from Darwin if he ever gets onto the channel, eh? Because anyone speaks Spanish.
Yeah.
With Evo, what I would say, I would just say he's got 2 years. Let's just see injury wise how he does. Just get near to the end of the season. Let's see if there's a couple of games to go, because we've got Evo Pro, we've got the other contracts to sort them out, get them sorted out, and then end of the season, give him 4 year contract. And I think
he's saying what Brian
Evo's
said, which is like give him.
Yeah, basically it'd be the same what I did, but I'd let him know. I mean, you don't need to.
Yeah.
You don't need these guys to think. I mean, because the other guy came out and said, contract. Well, I haven't heard anything from the club, so why are you asking me? I mean, you don't like you want them to be in your saying, look, we're working on a deal. You're not being forgotten about. You will be getting a new contract. Everybody's happy.
Right.
You can let your wife and kids know you're going to be spending another 4 years living in Liverpool in England. You know, you don't have to worry about anything. You can plan for the future. We're going to get around to you. You're not forgotten about. You don't need some guy sitting there talking to his lads going, oh, are you getting a new deal? Saying, I don't know, man. I haven't heard anything from the club in like 2 fucking years. Agent hasn't had a phone call in 6 months. No idea. You don't want that shit. You just don't. You need clarity all the time. So someone like Evo, his value as well, book value. Don't forget about these things. You need a player locked down on a contract so no one can come in and go, ha ha ha, there's 12 million quid, and if you don't take it, you're going to lose them for free in 6 months. Oh shit. You know, you don't want that situation, which is one we're approaching with a couple of people now.
Yeah.
So let's get our house in order. But again, I'm giving these boys that have come back in, I know they're controversial, but the new Edwards returning and the new Hughes people, they have a lot to deal with. So I am giving them a period of grace to work through a lot of what they need to work through. It can't be easy. You know, so, but as long as things do get done, that's fine. But I'd imagine their in-tray was pretty heavy when they walked in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking about contract negotiations, there was the talks about Trent. That's trending right now. I do know. I have one quote. I know that Brian has a little bit more in-depth quotes or information on this Trent issue, but I did see Fabrizio Romano said the priority for Trent Alexander is Liverpool. He will keep discussing Liverpool. He will keep discussing with Liverpool about the project, what they want to do at the club for the next years and finances. Real Madrid will keep following the situation. That's what Romano had to say. Brian, I know you wanted to speak a little bit more at length. What was it that you wanted to share with our community here?
Well, just what he was talking about himself. this is from The Guardian. I'm not sure where the quotes themselves are taken from, but he was just been asked questions. And he replied that he said, I want to be a Liverpool player this season. And then in brackets, as a minimum. That's put in by the journalist. I want to be a Liverpool player this season is what I will say. I have been at the club for 20 years now. I have signed 4 or 5 extensions, and none of those have been played out in the public, and this one won't be either. So then it just goes on to talk about what he's done in the past, the club, 231 games, everything he's won. And then they put the quotes in. So they don't show what the questions are, but anyway, he says, the most important thing is always trophies, if I'm honest. I want to win trophies. I'm a player who's highly motivated by trophies and winning things and being elite. So that is probably the main factor of anything. If you have a personality that is elite, who wants to win and will do anything to win, then that is what drives me. So in terms of what kind of people he wants to work with. So we were close to the title last season. We got a cup. The quad was on for a while, I suppose. The signs were there. This season, we are looking really good. It's still early days, but we need a lot of consistency and beat a lot of teams over the course of the season. Then you have the other cups. It will be difficult, but we're looking to win as many trophies as we can. So then, just finally on that, he talked about the involvement. Says, I think I'm capable of many, many more, if I'm honest. For now, I'm completely focused on this season, how many goals, assists, and clean sheets I can get, and hopefully do enough to win us the league. So it's that thing about I want to win trophies. I'm a player who's highly motivated by winning trophies and winning things and being elite. That is the main quote from that. I have a personality that is elite, or if you have a person that is elite, wants to win things, that is what drives me. So he's saying, I want to stay at Liverpool, but he's also saying, I want to win stuff. That's some. So it's strong stuff. I think that's strong stuff. Anyway, I think that's making things very, very clear. That I think he's saying, I'll be the one that makes the decision here.
Right.
It's like, I know what this club can do. I know what other clubs can do. I'll be the one that makes the decision. So I'm not sure what other people make of that. I mean, it's not someone coming out and saying, I'm going to sign, I'm not going to sign, but he's put a lot out there, I think, about his personality.
Yeah, definitely. Someone that we all do want to definitely see get that deal done and get it over with. But there is reports out there, if Trent were to decide that he wants to take his talents to elsewhere, and well, we all know that where that elsewhere would most likely be. But I'm not
and Romano stirring the pot. Romano saying, for no reason whatsoever, bringing up Real Madrid. No reason whatsoever, bringing up Real Madrid, saying, of course, a club like Real Madrid, yada yada. Fuck off, Romano.
You know what I mean, bro? Too many of them type of people about in the football world now. Sick and tired of them. Like,
JK.
Well,
it's just the way it goes, unfortunately.
Yeah. They got,
announce your deals.
So they got
announce your deals if you want. Yeah, JK. Announce your deals. Your here we goes. Do all them.
Yeah,
if you
do
want.
all that. Yeah.
Stop coming in with this
speculation
for no reason. Just saying because everyone all these kids, they all hang on his every word.
Yeah.
So he'll just go, but don't forget, Real Madrid will always be watching this. It's like, come on, man.
That's logic, bro. Any idiot can say that. Like anyone who knows anything about football can say, you know what, Real Madrid be bloody interested. Who else is going to be bloody interested, man?
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, these type of guys, I'm not a big fan of here we goes and all that sort of bullshit talk. You got fans waiting, not for the club no more. They're waiting for these guys to give information out. You get me? And a lot of these guys actually work for the clubs, so... I'm not a big fan of these type of guys, man. Do it with a bit of class, Why does he need to mention anything about Real Madrid?
Well, this is what is happening, and why I was bringing up that if case, he does. There has been a rumor out there, and someone that we already have been, quote unquote, loosely connected to, but as the summer ended or as the summer continued, wasn't a outstanding or an outstanding name that was going to be pushed and pursued to the very end. But apparently this name has come back up, and this name is Frimpong. Dutch right back Frimpong is admired at Anfield, and his bargain release clause of just £34 million means he has plenty of clubs looking at him, with Manchester United also expected to be in the race for his signature. That's according to Caught Offside. So apparently Manchester United have joined this race, but we have also maybe not necessarily taken ourselves out of pursuit of this possible right back. If I think that was, do you think this? Do you think this is? I was going to say I think it is if Trent does decide to leave, but do you think that hypothetically Trent says, "Yeah, I want to stay"? Do you think then we still go after our Frimpong to have coverage, even though we do already have Connor as a viable, player that can provide coverage, if not play in his stead?
Well, probably not, because it looks like Slot is focused with Trent in the right back situation. You all know my thing with where I want Trent, where I think he should be. But no, if he stays, if he signs that new contract, then no, it's not going to happen. It should be Trent and Bradley. So yeah, it would be a needs must.
So you don't are you saying that you don't rate do you rate Bradley over Frimpong possibly? Is that what you're
No, I think at this moment Frimpong is better than Bradley. He's got more game time and he's part of the winning. But you see, Frimpong is like a wing back. He can play the right back, but he's more attacking wise. He's very, very attacking. Trent is attacking, but he's very attacking wise. But defensively, he's not that bad, to be honest. I wouldn't say he's great. He's a great right defensive, but he's not too bad. So again, he's better than he definitely is better than Bradley, that's for sure. But again, if Trent stays, would we need him? And Bradley, not really, because Slot has Trent, lined up. He sees him as the right back, what he was doing. But again, that's another conversation. If, for instance, Slot was to say, Trent, I want you in midfield, then again, that's a whole load of moving parts, and then we could do it. That's another show we can do, and some other coming back.
Yeah, that's another day, another topic.
Yeah, day. But I like Frimpong, don't get me wrong, but if that happens, no, we wouldn't.
Irishman, same question to you.
Yeah, I like all three. They're all brilliant players. I think Frimpong is really exciting, but no way we need three. That, I think, without wanting to look too deep into it, that to me is a Trent to Madrid story, not a Frimpong to Liverpool story. So you're basically, that whole story will be about Trent leaving, I would imagine, more than Frimpong coming in. So if Trent was to leave, great, because like I said, we're talking about like the depth in the squad and all that. I think without knowing too much about some of the younger players at some of the bigger clubs and the newer clubs, I still think that Trent and Bradley is the best right back pair in the league in terms of quality. So there'd be if you add both of them, that's the last thing you need is a Frimpong. But if we were to sell him and we brought in a Frimpong, then are you asking, does he sit Bradley down? Or are you saying, even if we sold Trent, could Bradley not just step up immediately? I wouldn't be surprised if he could, to be honest, the way, because I heard I spoke about it last night. I said, this team was built around Trent. A lot of it was built around Trent, and that's not happening anymore. He's being integrated and he's been used, but it's not being built around him. It's not like, how do we get Trent in this game? And everyone else has to work around that. He's been used in a much more, he is coming inside that, but he's been used a lot more traditionally. Well, it's weird actually, but basically the team isn't being built around him. I said that last night. I saw another YouTuber spend 20 minutes talking about that today, and everybody was agreeing, going, "Oh, you're so right." It's like, okay, whatever, But so a few people are seeing this. We don't need a a Trent replacement that does what Trent does in terms of inverting and running a game. We might just need a replacement right back if Trent leaves, which I think is really good. That's a good place to be. And if Bradley needed to play 10 games, I think in a slot team, I think he could do pretty well.
JK?
Like this sort of news, that's just salt and pepper for the Trent news to Madrid, you know. They're putting like 2 and 2 together.
Exactly.
Frimpong, yeah, like exactly what sort of Brian was saying. Like for me, Frimpong is the last thing on my mind when it consider which player should we buy next. The only reason we could look at him is if we know that Trent is going to leave. And this is what I don't like about the club sometimes, is that they don't bring out news when the fans really need to hear it. Like, look at our transfer window this summer, terrible. For me, perfect timing. Yeah, you know what? We've got Kaiser in, and we've got these 3 guys signed up. They could have done, like, that's for me the bare minimum. That was getting them 3 guys signed up this summer was the cherry on top of the cake with our other 3 signings, world-class sort of signings. What did we do? We got Kaiser in, we got a goalkeeper in, and we didn't get these guys signed up or told us they've been signed up. So for me, the Frimpong news is just a way to show like Liverpool might be interested in him if they allow Trent to go to Madrid. That's like, whoa, cheesy, man. It's really like cringe in the way they do it.
Well, I'm not trying to. I hope me bringing it up doesn't make you cringe.
No. It's just like someone's made that picture there, bro.
Yeah. I feel you.
Like they put Frimpong there, Liverpool badge. It's like they're just trying to make up, like, you know when the football season's in flow, there's no transfer news really. Right. What it is with these guys, Romano and all these type of guys,
right. This is a spread I called offside too, by the way. Even though this is Anfield, or I forget what the name of this of the AL, what that stands for. It's for one of the
Anfield liar.
Yeah.
Anfield liars.
Exactly. It's a whole other little rant.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, JK.
They got nothing to write about, bro. So they're gonna come out with shit like this. Like for me, concentrate on what we did at the weekend and what we're gonna do on Wednesday and Wolves Saturday. These big sort of reporters, agent talk type of guys, they have to bring up news like this to keep them in the limelight.
Yeah,
Simple as.
Everyone's got an angle to try to get paid one way or another. You know,
bro, you knocked the nail on the head. Simple as.
So,
shame, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What I was going to say is, we do have a match Wednesday. It's going to be at 8 p.m. That's BST. So I will be doing a lead-in to the game. We will be doing it on Wednesday. So should be a fun. I enjoy doing the lead-ins into the games. I'm going to do a lead-in, and then I'm going to hopefully be able to get to my supporter pub by halftime. I should be able to do that as soon as the lead-in is done. So I'm going to have someone drive me in so I could bring my phone and watch the game in the car on the ride into the game. So you know,
that's a proper fun.
Yeah,
you know,
chauffeur.
Yeah. No names.
Get
no
the
names.
limo.
No names.
Get the
Alfred or something like that. Maybe Alfred. Or
yeah. Oh, talking about the Batman series.
There you go. But we will have one on Wednesday. We'll have a show for you guys tomorrow too, as well. We'll come up with probably a topic that'll interest you. Hopefully, we'll bring up some news. Obviously, your normal gambit of news and the likes. But we'll come up with something that is engaging and hopefully enjoyable for all of you to indulge in tomorrow. And as always,
loads of transfer news. There'll be loads of transfer news tomorrow.
Yeah. I bet there will be from AL too. From AL.
Oh yeah.
Straight from the source. AL.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a good picture though. I don't know wherever that came from. That Cody pick. That's a good pick.
Yeah, that's a
I
really
know
good point.
Cody,
They
right.
do excellent. I personally think that they do some really great pre-game photos or the hype game, the hype the next game or whatever,
The
whether it's
picture,
like
yeah.
Yeah.
the photos.
I
Yeah,
mean,
the
they've
picture.
managed to make that jersey look nice. So that's a 10 out of 10 for me.
Well, yeah, it pops. It super pops in this one because the shoes
background.
are almost the same color as the
They're hiding
the-
that collar. You see, they're hiding that horrible collar in shadow. So that's helping.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
That's
And the
true.
pink boots, like the pink boots are gone.
There
Oh,
you
the
go.
pink
There you
boots,
go.
man. The pink
They
Oh,
got,
boots.
yeah.
remember
Can't have
remember that
pinkies.
topic?
Can't have the
Those-
pinkies, man.
No pink
Yeah,
boots.
man. We had a
Um,
little topic back in the days about them pink boots.
Yeah. That's a
Now
whole.
he's
That's
all right.
again. That's another subject, another day. But I just wanted to get into this little bit of Zen that I wanted to leave everyone in the chat with our panel as well. This is our little bit, our moment of Zen. I wanted to show you this. Much love to our Red Devils out there. So far this year, you are drawing with Lucho on goals scored in the Prem, and I don't know. I might have to put a little wager on if Lucho can outscore the Red Devils this year or not, because he has definitely been on some very good form as of late. But Red Devils, jeez, man, they are in a bit of a conundrum when it comes to trying to figure out what they are going to do with their offense. And guess what?
Indeed.
Is
We
Hoyland
do
still
not-
playing football? Is Hoyland still playing football? Is he injured? Is he out? Like, what's happened to that guy?
I think he was on the subs bench, I think, against Palace.
No, yeah. No, he came on. He came on against
Did he?
Palace as a sub. Yeah, he came on.
Yeah, but he's no good, is he? Come on.
Look
at the money they
Ireland.
spent.
Oh no, joking. No, he's quality, mate. Long may he continue. Oh, he's brilliant. Honestly.
Yeah,
I wish he was at our club. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Him and
Oh
Eric
no, mate.
Sendock.
Oh,
Do you know
Oh,
I
mate,
had to
oh.
check? I had to check something last night. They renewed Percy Jackson. Oh, fucking not Percy Jackson. Nicholas Jackson.
Yeah.
They
yeah.
renewed his deal to 2033
Huh?
at Chelsea. They renewed
Yeah.
it in
Done it.
2033.
He'll be there for the next 9 years, then technically.
Yeah.
And people do less for murder.
Yeah. Chelsea have got house.
Oh.
It is a little bit of a prison. It is a little bit of a
dude.
prison
Did he
sentence.
take
Yeah,
9
Chelsea.
years? Did he
Yeah,
take
Chelsea
9
could
years?
be a
Now I
prison
tell you
sentence.
that one. He'd take 9 years tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's mad, you know. I think you say, like, who's going to pay more than 35 million for him, Jackson? Come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for me, they're
Banner.
just securing their assets so they don't just go on a free. I said to people why they're giving these contracts to these guys, because look at Liverpool, how many players we've allowed to go on a free? Loads of them. Chelsea don't want to do that. So what they're doing is giving them long contracts. Someone puts a bid in for them, more than likely they'll let them go because their contract covers it. So job done, you know. In that way,
Yeah.
we're thinking, oh, look at them, what they're doing. They're just securing their assets, man.
Yes, it's a cool,
Bernie,
yeah.
Bernadette is right. Bernie's right.
2033, man.
Chelsea
There
are
might not
murderers.
be a planet in 2033. They're banking on Nicholas Jackson.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
no, he
That's
won't be
embarrassing.
there. He'll be gone in 4 years, probably.
I think less.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
the
less.
average life of a footballer. That's the average life of 3-4 years. Somewhere you go somewhere else. But like, yeah, they have him now on book value for as an asset that's tied down till 2033. That's what they're doing. It's a
But he's
pain
not
because-
really good, is he? Like, he scored 2
No,
goals.
but he
in
has
3
a
games.
value, like you were saying,
Yeah,
securing
yeah.
value. That it's all book value. It actually adds to
Yeah.
the value of a club. Like our club, let's just say, for instance, Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk, right, were both 27 years old,
Mhm.
and they had 6 months left on their deal, like they do,
Mhm.
right? Or they had 5 years left on their deal, and Virgil was valued at 120, and Mo was valued at 150. That
Mhm.
actually, that value would actually go on the value of our club if it was being sold, because that's the value of the assets that we have. But if you've got a Mo with 5 minutes left and a VVD with none left, you've actually got that actually affects the value of your club. So that's JK, you're right. When they're spreading that all over these players, when all of that adds up, that's actually adding 400 million to their book value as a club were they to sell it. And it's insane. Like the guy's not like, we don't know if the world is going to be here in 2033. Let alone, like that's crazy about that. But yeah, they'll have all these guys locked down on 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-year deals. Mudrik's on like an 8-year deal or something. These kind of guys. So it's just all about putting the value down.
Yeah. I was going to say too, Angel Gomez is 24 years old currently, and he is on this is the last year of his contract. He's not renewed with Lille. And he is currently on 13,654 euros a week.
Whoa. That's less than Curtis Jones, bro.
Put a 0 behind it. Sign it up. Sign him up.
Yeah.
It wouldn't bother me. I just wonder, like, it doesn't bother me that he's an ex-United guy. That wouldn't bother me at all.
No, it wouldn't?
No, not in any way. I mean, he just seems to me someone who looked at that club and said, "No, thanks, not for me. I'm not going to sign a new deal. I'm going to walk away on a free because you guys are shite at football, so I'm going to leave, go somewhere good, get a 2-year deal, show everyone how good I am, and then go somewhere on a free contract." Snap him up. Because all those Man United fans for years are like, this guy's the future. Well, how funny would it be if that was true, but he ended up doing it at Liverpool? I'm all for that. I'm absolutely all for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from that angle, perfect, Yeah.
Well, that's an option out there, people. You heard it here first. And also, we are going to allow for you guys to enjoy. I know it's a late Monday, so we're going to be ending our segment here as we come in on the 2-hour mark. But I wanted to go around the panel and give them their final thought as we're starting to like augment to, excuse me. And it's in the whole like Jerry Springer style final thought. What is your final thought, JK, on for today? What's the final thought you want to leave everyone with?
No, it was a good show just to chatting about like certain things that go on in football. Like Rodri not like missing out on a lot of the season with his injury is to our benefit, them sort of things. Talking about Darwin, what Virgil said, and for me about the contracts, how we can sort of like are we going to get them sorted out. But for me, I'm looking forward to Wednesday, just to see some players get game time. So yeah, man. And then Saturday, Wolves.
Okay. Irishman, do you have a final thought that you want to share?
No, just that when I'm right, I'm right. Don't complain about the Champions League schedule because something will happen to your knees. Don't do it.
Okay. And last but not least, Milante, do you have a final thought for today?
Do 12, and if you spare me a minute, it's a 4-page letter. Yeah, you spare me a couple of minutes.
Okay.
I just like to say, chat and great esteemed panel, that we've had some interesting topics today. VVD, Darwizzy, Trent contracts. The thought of the day I have is this: don't listen to gossip mongers and here we go now, as JK said, the Romanios, these Ornstein people trying to clickbait. Listen to the real people at the football club. And in the words of the illustrious, God rest his soul, Jerry Springer, be safe. Take care of one another. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
You can't be
you.
Jerry Springer, man. What a guy. What a guy.
Yeah, Dylan.
Oh, so people out there, definitely thank you for joining us today. Definitely thank you for joining us. Oh wait, there was something Bernie was asking real quick.
I see you sitting on the stage and with the mic in your hand, turn to the
Oh no,
camera.
it's okay. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Definitely enjoy your night, enjoy your evening, enjoy your morning or afternoon, whatever you are engaging in. I hope that it is a beautiful day or a beautiful evening for you, and that you join us tomorrow when we join back. It will be at the normal 7:00 hour in BST time. So yes, definitely join us. And as always, like I like to say, up the Reds, people. Simple does. Up the Reds. Okay. See you guys tomorrow. Take care.
Peace.